Why did the Pacers sign Bynum?
Well, they certainly didn't need him. They're healthy right now, and they have terrific depth. And now, by adding him, they really have 5 big men who can help them in a playoff series or a playoff game. And so I think, they had some space under the luxury tax, about $1.8 million, so they used $1 million of it here. And I don't think they felt like they could get a player who would fit their depth better between now and the end of the season. So but I do think, even though Larry Bird denied it very vehemently, in fact, today, I do think that there was some interest in keeping him away from the Miami Heat, who may have been able to clear some roster space to sign him in the next few weeks.
So you mentioned the Miami Heat. What was the market for Andrew Bynum?
Well, he talked to 3 or 4 teams, but the Pacers are the only team that got really serious with him. I do think that the Heat had some interest, but like I said, they don't have a roster spot right now. Also, the Heat are facing a $15 million luxury tax bill, and signing Andrew Bynum to the same $1 million contract that the Pacers offered would have cost the Heat $3.5 million. So I think that was definitely a factor. The Pacers and the Heat are eyeing each other. There's a 3-game difference in the standings. The number 1 seed in the East is up for grabs. Still a lot of time left, and I'm sure that this is a situation where both of them were competing for the same guy, and the Pacers struck first.
So the only time Bynum can guard Roy Hibbert now is in practice. What kind of impact? You mentioned 5 big men on Indy. What kind of impact will he have in games for the Pacers?
It's going to be tough to see because the Pacers have been doing just fine. They have the best record in the East with their current big man rotation with Roy Hibbert and Jan Mahimi, and then they've got Louis Scola and David West. When Bynum was playing for the Cavs this season, he had a handful of impactful games. It wasn't every night, but he had a few games where he came in there and completely changed the game with his defense and as a rebounder and scorer. So I don't know how much he's going to be in the rotation early on for the Pacers, and this is going to be a chemistry issue. I think the Pacers players are a little concerned about that. It's a very close team, and Bynum at times has rubbed teammates, including in Cleveland earlier this season, one of the reasons why the Cavs moved on from him. But if he's able to come in and help them win a playoff game or 2, or be effective in a series against a team that has size, then he will have been a very good $1 million investment. And that's what the Pacers are looking at more than what he might do game to game.
Real quickly, more on that. What's the confidence level of the Pacers on Bynum's sort of effort and desire level?
Well, I'm sure they vetted this very closely because when the Cavs decided to shut Bynum down and eventually exile him from the team before trading him, there was a lot of friction there, and there was a lot of wonder whether Bynum really had the desire to continue playing. Obviously, if he's decided to re-sign with another team, he does want to play, but he is going to have to play a role. And he struggled playing a role with the Cavs. He is used to being more the center of attention, being the starter. That is not going to be the case unless there's extreme circumstances here. So it's going to be interesting to see how he meshes. And I'm not so sure that the Pacers players are completely on board with this yet. We'll have to see how he integrates with the team in the coming weeks.